I have a really funny joke to start off the podcast. Tenet goes in reverse, and the reverse of movies is Sivoom.
Sivoom!
Thanks, Ethan.
Welcome back. Yeah, welcome back to the Simps Podcast.
Sivoom, baby.
Number 28, guys. We're almost to the 30 bomb.
We're almost to the 30 bomb. Will Jack appear on episode 30?
No.
Probably not.
Do you think Jack will ever appear on a podcast again?
Maybe.
Is he ever going to visit here?
Maybe.
Well, you got to get that in the works and then it'll happen.
It is in the works.
Is it in the works?
It just might be in the works for a long time.
Yeah. Okay.
The podcast may be canceled by then. Ethan is playing chess.
It's alright. He's still technically the producer. It's okay. We can move on.
Yeah. He doesn't provide any real.
He's still technically the producer in my eyes.
Okay. That's fair. That's fair. If you want to call him the producer, you can do whatever you want.
When we had biggest dick of the week or whatever that was.
PP.
The PP of the week.
PP
of the week. Rest in peace those days when life was actually good.
Oh.
That was right before the break, right there.
Yeah, it was
COVID
literally
hit.
the episode before we left.
Jeez.
I'm just gonna say, the more I drink this, the spicier it gets. I'm drinking spicy Demonade right now, and it just more and more chili flakes are going in my mouth.
Yeah, you gotta shake it up
flakes.
right before.
I'm not here for it.
Anyways, this is a movie podcast.
This is a movie podcast, not a G Fuel podcast.
I mean, we mentioned G Fuel, our sponsors, of course. 90% off Simps. Use code Simps.
Use code Simps. Big capitalized letters.
Big as
you have to.
Big as you can.
You have to change the font size to 30 for it to work.
36 actually.
In the G Fuel site, it's kind of tough, but if you get it to work, 90% off. You can use it. But yeah, this week we had two little requests from these two little boys over here. One of them wearing a mask.
Yeah, I'm still wearing my mask because I am sick technically right now, but that's not important. We watched movies.
What?
No! We watched movies this week. Actually, the last 2 weeks. Those movies were Knives Out and Tenet.
Which is which? Whose request is which again?
Tenet. Knives Out.
Mine was Knives Out. And we went and saw it in theater.
Tenet.
We saw Tenet in theater because it's the one that's in the theater right now. Knives Out's been out for a while.
Anywhere else except for in the theater.
Yeah, that's right. So we did that. We have very differing opinions, I think, on both movies. So this is going to be interesting to see.
Let's start with the first movie we watched.
Okay.
Which is
Little Knives Out action.
Little Knivey boys. So Knives Out, great murder mystery film. It was in a big house, rich people, quiet protagonist. Basically, it's just a bunch of twists and turns, and it's really good. I really liked it. That was one of my favorite movies I'd seen in a long time. I expressed that to you guys clearly. I really didn't think I was gonna like it that much because I'm not a huge murder mystery fan, but I just loved the whole structure. The plot was good, although Ethan said he guessed it, which could be good.
I don't think he.
No.
No. My coworker said she guessed it.
We
Never
talked
mind.
about.
You didn't say that.
We talked about the throwing up part.
Right.
Yeah.
Bunch of twists and turns, and then a bunch of really fun characters. The cast is very star driven. Hannah Baker, she's in it. That's yeah.
I forgot about
She's
that.
in it, hitting a jewel. It's pretty sweet.
Yeah, it was sick.
First 5 minutes of the
Did
movie.
you say hidden jewel?
I said hitting a jewel.
Oh yeah.
Ethan's having
I didn't watch it
flashbacks.
with you guys, but I watched it pretty recently.
Basically, Hannah Baker came back from the dead and hit the jewel. That's all you need to know about the movie.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That's the plot.
Anyway, I think we'll give it to whoever wants it to start talking about it first. But that's the general gist of the movie. I really liked it.
Yeah, I've seen it twice, so I also really like it. And I think part of the reason, you say you normally don't like murder mysteries, and I think it's because this one really almost isn't a murder mystery because it literally tells you who did it.
It's a backwards.
Yeah.
It's that's what makes the plot so interesting to follow, I think, is because it's just
almost from the very beginning who actually who's the murderer.
Yeah.
But then it kind of flips it on its head. But
yeah. And then in the end, it really is just the original thing they thought, which who cares? Spoilers. He did just kill himself. Yeah. He was fine and he just killed himself. He just slit his throat.
But it also does the thing where it's
Did you know
the
that,
first.
Though?
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
he thought he was gonna die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was doing that
But still, that it's just like,
to save her pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
the other
Get good.
thing I like about this movie is it does the whole, like, you know, it's never the first person, it's like the last person you would expect. It's like never the first person you'd expect.
Oh,
And then
that's
by the end of the movie, it is the first person that you expect that caused everything.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it was really cool. Joe, so you said you liked it, right?
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And also, like, one thing that, like, there's just a lot of things that in this movie kind of stand out. Like, the set is really cool. The house that they used is so cool.
I think it's always cool and unique when you just use one set piece pretty much for the entire thing. And I mean, they went to the town like once or twice, but it's basically all in this house, and it's
The manor.
And also, can we talk about how big of a bounce back this was for the director, Rian Johnson?
Yeah.
Comes
Yeah.
off of The Last Jedi,
Oh shit.
Yeah.
and then comes back and
I
makes
didn't know he
Knives
directed
Out.
it.
Yeah.
Damn. Well,
That is,
Rian Johnson. He was like, I feel like every, the two directors that were cast to direct Star Wars, like, were pulled into it just for the money.
yeah.
So I don't think Rian Johnson really wanted to.
Yeah,
direct.
I don't think.
yeah,
because like you think about that, like if you got offered to direct a Star Wars
People
movie,
turned it down.
Yeah, a lot
A
of
lot of
A
people,
lot of
turned
people
it down
did,
because
but-
it's a high order, and if you fuck it up,
That
you're
is
gonna
true.
get a lot of hate.
But
which
see, it
Rian
depends on-
Johnson
yeah.
did get.
Here's
a
the
lot of hate.
thing. He's not at fault for it, really. I mean,
He
he has some stylistic decisions, but they're feeding him pretty much everything he needs. So he's just kind of the face of all the hate that it gets.
I don't even think it was
True.
like, for Star Wars wise, it wasn't like, you know, the choice of his style of making the movie. I liked how the movie looked and how everything was, like, you know, set up, but I think the problem is they had you know, J.J. Abrams write the whole first movie, and then they had him write the whole second movie.
Right.
So it's like two very
There's no
different.
in between.
Yeah, you got to have, you know, at least one person that's working on writing it throughout the whole thing.
Also, there's like a Disney representative. Like, I watched a lot of videos. There's a Disney representative. She like kind of drove the whole plot of the trilogy, and she fucked it up.
Yeah.
Anyways, we're not talking about Star Wars.
Yeah.
This is Knives Out discussion.
Yeah.
But I don't think Rian Johnson is a bad director. He's he's done good stuff in the past, and this Knives Out was a really good movie.
Mhm.
I liked it a lot.
Yeah. I really enjoyed. I mean, it was just like, it was a breath of fresh air. Honestly, I thought Daniel Craig did awesome. It's hard to see him. I talked about this with Jackson. It's hard to see him not as James Bond.
Yeah.
But I think he did a good job. The only thing that I felt was weird was his accent.
Yeah, it was a
it
little
felt like really
inconsistent.
forced.
Yeah.
a little inconsistent too.
Yeah.
At the beginning, it was very thick,
Yeah.
and then it just kind of fades
Thought-
a little
Really,
bit.
I love his accent.
No, I liked it too,
I
but
liked
I
his
think it was just
accent.
slightly inconsistent.
I think he's like the best part of the movie.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, I agree.
he's so-
I love
his
that.
character-
Well,
They're
yeah,
so
of
good.
course he is.
I really liked when he started talking about donuts for a solid 10 minutes.
There's a hole within the hole.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Yeah, that was funny.
Within our donut hole, there's another donut.
It's funny because he's like this badass detective that's like really highly acclaimed, and he still kind of acts childish in just some of the things that he says, but it's like, I don't know, he sounds and looks the part of just being such a macho man, and then he's like, donut within a donut. It doesn't matter.
You know who the hero of the movie was though?
Who was that?
The grandma.
The grandma.
Yes.
Grandma was the hero.
Yes.
Didn't she like pretend like she didn't see anything, but she really did see Chris Evans' character?
I mean, because
That's what you assume.
nobody came to like talk to her about it. So
I thought she talked in the end.
really, she did.
Yeah.
But like the whole thing throughout the movie, she knew the whole time. Who was the one that went up there.
Right.
But nobody ever asked her, or nobody ever
'cause
came
they
to
thought she
talk
was
to her about the
stupid.
death. Yeah.
or like senile or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
What a comment on today's society.
Wow.
Society.
Society.
Wow.
Society, no old people, only young people.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was really good.
But if
I
you-
enjoyed it.
If you want to get into like anything deeper, you can talk about like kind of the politics of it, sort of. I think there was the whole immigration thing, and then the whole the rich get richer, rich white family thing, but they made it like not too obnoxious, you know?
Yeah.
because they made the characters lovable, but still had the incentive of trying to show like how greedy that kind of.
Yeah, none of them were like mustache twirling. Like they weren't like villains. They were just like people that were.
The only one that I would say was like that was the father.
Yeah.
The old father dude.
The one that was having the affair.
Yeah. He was a little.
He was the stereotypical conservative white dad.
Stereotyped, but I think it worked still. Also, I just have to say this: the star of the film. I don't know if I can name, but Jesus Christ,
Marta.
She's a dime.
Yeah, Marta. We love Marta.
We love.
Jackson
Marta.
was making many comments on Marta.
Yeah, she's a dime.
Woo.
Yeah, it's really good casting.
Yeah,
what's her name?
No, the family dynamic is what makes this movie, and like having all those talented actors, they are able to actually like pull off that dynamic.
Yeah,
it makes it like so believable. But also, I did feel like it was like some of the parts of the movie are a little over the top.
A little bit,
and that's what kind of threw me off, and why I kind of just was like, eh. But like, there's just so much good in it that I
kind of like the over the top.
Yeah, I mean, because they're just trying to and they perfectly pinpointed all the stereotypes of a big suburban family.
Yeah.
So the one thing that felt like kind of not a plot hole, but just like unrealistic was the car chase scene. And I guess you can explain it because you can explain this because Daniel Craig's character like knew all along. With the bloodstain thing, that like the car chase thing happens. She breaks like a shit ton of fucking laws, like weaving in and out of traffic, like scraping against cars and shit. And then like he gets in her car and he's like, "It's okay, we're taking the other guy in," even though like they more than likely saw her driving.
The part of that was because they took him in because he was like. In that sense, he was telling her what to do.
Yeah.
So.
But the thing is like he had no gun, he had no knife to like hold her hostage. So like, what was he doing? Yeah. Threatening to like.
I mean, the thing was that's what they can easily argue like in court if it was in that situation.
I guess.
So it's like.
Also, one thing I gotta say that I didn't like about the movie is the stupid plot device of her throwing up every time she lies.
Yeah,
I thought that was kind of dumb.
That was the MacGuffin of the movie.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
The only thing I thought that was funny about that was the end.
Yeah.
They use it really well.
But then it's kind of like, well, she can hold it in, like. I don't know.
Well, it's gonna. Well, no, they explained that it's gonna come out eventually.
Yeah.
Like she can hold it in, but she's gonna end up.
Yeah, no, that was.
I mean, the whole time she's in the interview at the beginning, like, and he's asking her, and he's like, she's telling like the half truths and stuff.
Yeah,
she
because
gets finished and then goes to the bathroom and just pukes up her guts.
Yeah.
Or she got around it by like, if she got asked a question, she didn't lie, but she didn't tell the truth.
Right.
Like. Definitively, and it made her so that she didn't have to throw up.
She told a part of it that was the truth.
Yes.
Yeah.
But not the whole truth. It was definitely a MacGuffin, but I liked how they used it at the end, so it was okay. Like it was a little cheesy at the beginning, where it was like, oh, the introduction. She's gonna throw up every time she lies. This will be how they figure it out. But
then I liked that it was like that's what she did. But then at the same time, then you find out right after that it's like, oh, she's going to tell them who it is because she can't lie about it. And then it's like, oh, wait, it's her.
Yeah.
But then it's not her. It's like, I don't know. It was I did like that part. That I liked like how it was used. I didn't like the fact that it was used, I think.
Yeah, but it was like, I don't know. Because I don't know what you would do. It made it more unique in a way, but also it was just kind of a cheap way to move the story forward. Yeah. It was just kind of an idea that you think up. You're just like,
it's a MacGuffin.
You're just like, eh.
Yeah.
I wouldn't call that cheap though. I mean,
I would call it cheap.
It's cheap, but I don't think it really takes away that much. It's just kind of there. You're just kind of like, okay, that's kind of stupid, but
yeah.
But it is Rian Johnson, and he did a lot of MacGuffins in The Last Jedi, which is interesting.
Yeah.
Maybe he's a MacGuffin guy.
Maybe he is.
But that was an
maybe
okay
he is
MacGuffin in my book.
What?
Maybe he is MacGuffin.
He might be MacGuffin.
And also the music in the movie was pretty cool. It was very unique. A lot of like violins, just like when it's like showing the house and stuff.
They made it like the old style, the old feel with like the modern characters.
Yeah.
Because the house was very old-fashioned, too.
Did the grandpa and Marta relationship feel creepy to you guys at all?
No.
Felt
I don't
creepy
think
to
so.
me a little bit.
How did it feel creepy to you?
I thought it was just,
Just weird. Hot
And
girl
finding
fucking being his nurse and hanging out with him whenever he wants.
I mean,
Well,
they make that,
the
they
whole
make
thing
that
about
joke.
it was that he just wanted a friend.
Yeah.
Because he was lonely.
Because he was
Because his
with
family
because
sucks.
his family sucks. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It makes sense, Ethan.
Okay.
I also like right before the reading of the will, how they're like, "We'll help you out, like whenever you."
Yeah.
It's so good to our grandpa, and then or to our dad, and then it's like, all of it goes to her, and they're just like, "Fuck you, bitch!" Like,
Yeah.
That will reading scene is what I was gonna say before we watched that. Like, this is the best scene in the movie.
Yeah.
But I was just like, no, I'm gonna let them experience it. I love that scene.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
much.
That was
because
the best scene.
I knew that they were. Everyone knew, obviously, that they weren't going to say any of the family members, but I didn't, or the ones that were expecting it. But I did not expect them to say Marta. I did not expect that.
Right as you started getting revealed that everybody wasn't getting anything, I thought it was.
He was
thought it
cutting
pretty
everyone
obvious.
off.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a really fun story.
We gotta
Yeah.
also comment on the last shot, the "My Home, My Rules."
Oh yeah,
mug-
my house,
mug
my
at the
rules.
very end. How it's like shown at the beginning with him, and then finally she's drinking out of it at the very last like shot.
I like the knife at the end too.
Yeah.
It was like physical, or it was a physical metaphor for like what's real, what's fake.
Now I know what's real, what's fake.
Yeah. Good
Yep.
movie.
Good movie.
film.
It did, yeah. When
Very
I first
good
watched
film.
it surprised me.
Yeah.
The only thing I will say is, like the film is stylistically driven with set and what's the word, like costume design. I think. I don't think it's cinematographically like driven though at all.
Yeah, I mean,
I wouldn't even
Not-
say
not-
costume design. I would just say characters in the set. The set made it. But
I think it was costume design driven. Well,
you know, they
just
had
because of the
basic
family.
outfit.
I don't know. That's what I think.
Well, yeah, maybe because they had like the stereotypical liberal mom too. And she was
Right.
in her all pink, and she had like a cosmetics line, and the preppy kid on his phone who's like
Yeah.
creepily watching porn or whatever.
yeah.
Yeah,
I'll
that
call
was
him a
weird.
Nazi.
That kid was barely in the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
really-
funny
The
though.
only plot point that he really helped towards was the fact that he overheard the scream
Right.
match.
Yeah, he didn't really serve much of a purpose. It was so funny though when they were all driving Martha out of the house, like bombarding her, telling her, "Oh, we'll help you out." After she got the will,
Yeah,
and
he's-
Yuji's just sitting there with his phone in the background. It's just like
Instagram
so
Live.
2020.
Yeah.
I didn't like that. I was like, oh look, it's like one of those like, oh look, social media things.
Stereotypical.
Like kid use social
Millennial.
media.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Okay, well it's.
I mean, it was a lot of stereotypical, just making fun of a lot of people, I think.
Yeah. Sometimes like I just feel like a lot of the time like in movies like that, like the whole social media stuff, just like they feel out of touch when they try to talk about it. I mean, like, this was like
that was
obviously
the
this
only
was, like-
ode to social media, really.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying it was like minimal.
Yeah.
But yeah, also,
Other than the main dad, kind of he did the, you know how like 50-year-old dads like look at their phone like this with their glasses on.
Oh, it
That was like the
natural.
first impression
was natural
of the
for him.
dad. It was funny. I thought that was cool. Anyway.
Cell phones. Am I right?
Yes.
Should we ban
right.
cell phones from movies?
Yes, I think so.
I think that would make them better.
All right.
Is a rating?
Let's rate it.
Rating time.
Yes. I
Who's
guess.
first?
Tyler's
I would
always
go
first.
first. I would give this movie a solid 4 out of 5. I really liked it. It was a very good movie.
Rating.
Okay. I gave it a 5 out of 5. I think this is a 5 out of 5 movie in my eyes, just because it may not be the most perfect movie in your guys' eyes, and it is probably far from it, but I just really liked it. Like, it was just a very enjoyable movie for me to watch, and I think it was really good. So 5 out of 5 for me.
I'm giving it a 3.5 out of 5, which is
7 gang.
above average.
That is above.
That is beyond above average for me
That is good.
on my rating scale.
On my expertise.
I don't know. I feel like I'm pretty conservative on like our ratings a lot.
You run the scale that's like 5 is good average, or it's like average, right?
Yeah.
And then below, yeah, you
Yeah.
run like that scale. Not like
Yeah.
5 is an F.
Right. So
like
like
five's
it
a
was
C.
it was a really good movie. And yeah, I enjoyed it.
Oh,
Good.
I'm with Tyler. I give it a 4. 4 out of 5. That's what I gave it the first time I watched it, and the second time I kept it the same. And I did like watching it again. I noticed a lot more of the... Well, actually, I didn't really notice a lot of the foreshadowing because it kind of just points the foreshadowing out to you in the beginning or at the end when he's going through all the stuff like the dog is barking at Ransom and they bark at Night and like they don't bark at Marta.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. It was kind of fun watching it again, but ratings stayed the same, so 4 out of 5. Good movie.
Cool.
Had you seen it before too?
Yeah, I watched it in March,
Yeah.
I think. I watched it a while ago.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. All right. Shall we move on to the big one? The one we're all gonna highly disagree on. Well, it's gonna be a 3v1 here.
Yeah,
It will
probably.
be a 3v1.
All right.
This is
So
the old
Tenet. You know.
You know.
New Chris
This
Nolan
is
movie.
this is a movie
Go,
that is
Chris.
all about time travel, but not in the normal sense of time travel. It's done in the fact that in the future there's some technology that basically reconstructs like the molecules and stuff and the makeup of like objects and causes them to not move forward but backward in time. So every property that these objects like they have, it's all done in reverse. So let's say the beginning of the movie they have like a bullet sitting on there. You have to act like you were just dropping it for you to pick it up, and it like will just float up to your hand. And so it's stuff like that. It's like everything that is done in that reverse. It's almost like you're seeing it coming backward from the future. So like there's bullet holes in the wall. Those bullet holes will come out of like the wall when a gun is shot from like reverse. It's like stuff like that. And so basically the whole time, evil Russian guy trying to basically end the world by reversing the world to all go back in reverse. So the people from the future can live in the past and replace the people from the past pretty much. And so it's kind of like a, the grandfather paradox where, can you go back in time and kill your grandpa and still be alive in the future? It's like stuff, confusing stuff like that. And in the same way, it's like, what's happened has already happened because how would it have gotten to that point in the future if it hadn't already happened in the past?
Lots of confusing time reversal. Let's talk about how we felt about it.
All right.
Well, one thing I thought was kind of cool is that the title of the movie is literally a spoiler.
palindrome.
It's the spoiler for the gimmick of the movie.
Yeah.
That the whole movie's a palindrome.
Yeah.
What is palindrome?
It's like
like
forward and back.
Race car, you know that one?
You can
Like,
spell forward and back. The movie
both
forward and
ways.
back, and there's the meeting point in the middle.
Yeah.
yeah.
But
I want to...
Like Bob.
Yeah.
Yes, like
I
Bob.
personally, I think we all agree. I thought this movie kind of sucked.
Yes.
Yeah.
I did not enjoy a lot of this movie.
I agree with you, but before I talk, I just want to read it, or I'll tell you about a review I saw on Letterboxd of the movie. It just said,
No, some of the Letterboxd
Letterboxd
reviews are
reviews-
so good for
they're
this
so funny. But one of them was just, huh? Question mark? And then in parentheses below it was like, yeah, you get it. It's a palindrome. So I just thought that was funny.
Wow.
Anyway, I agree with Joe on this one. I did not enjoy it. And I don't think I can dock the structure of the movie, the plot of the movie, or what they were trying to do necessarily, because all of it makes sense. But the thing is, it goes too fast. It goes too fast. The dialogue doesn't give you any time to think about what's happening. They're already on to the fourth point afterwards when you're thinking about the one before. And then on top of that, you can't hear anything that they're saying because, one, they're always muffled, or the bass boost in the back is just blowing it out.
That's the thing. Nolan's soundtracks always are just like...
Yeah, they are, but even in Inception, you could hear what they were saying.
The mixing was terrible in this movie.
Mixing wasn't good. It was hard. It was too hard to follow. Christopher Nolan was just like, hey, I'm probably not going to make much money on this, so I'm going to make it so that they have to watch it 4 times. So
No. He knew he was gonna make money on this.
No, I know.
Nolan movies just make
I was kidding. That was a review I saw on Letterboxd also. But
This guy's just reading
Jackson,
reviews.
Nothing original here.
But that was the only.
No, the thing is that I found interesting about like the Letterboxd reviews is the overall review of this movie isn't terrible. It's a 3.5
but
out of 5.
everything.
But all the top reviews are like half-star reviews or like max like 2 out of 5. And I was just like, it just kind of, I'd never seen it like that before.
Yeah.
I just think a lot of people don't like Christopher Nolan ever since. I mean, even I think there's a good amount of people that don't really like Inception that much, or at least they think it's the best of his movies, but it's still not great. And that's because sometimes it feels like his movies just add all these complicated subjects just to sound smart, but it's all just a facade, and it's not actually a smart movie. It's literally just saying these things. So you, as an audience, you're like, whoa, like, look at all these physics. And it's really just an excuse to have a guy fight himself going backwards.
Right.
See, I am on the other side here. I really like this movie because it's like exactly like the type of movie that I'm super interested in. Like time travel, especially anything that has to do with that, I really like watching, especially when it's as different of a method as this one. And I will agree the mixing was bad and like pretty bad in this movie, but I didn't.
That's just kind of undeniable.
Yeah, I didn't have as like hard of a time understanding it as I think you guys did.
I understood the movie.
Hearing it.
I understood.
I mean, like, hearing what they were saying.
Oh, I couldn't hear, but I was able to still follow the plot just because it's like a movie. There's still a visual side to it.
Yeah, I was able to follow the basic elements of the plot, but not the complex elements.
Actually, Tyler, keep going. I'll save that.
Well, I was just gonna say, like, everything in the movie I thought was done so well, and just how, everything that had happened prior to the movie had to happen again for it to, keep with that consistency of, the fight where they break into the vault, and then the time at the end where the guy sacrifices himself, but then saves them, and then has to go back to sacrifice himself again because he has done it in the future, so he has to do it again in order to save him in the past.
Who sacrificed himself?
His friend, the guy that
Twilight guy
was with him throughout the whole movie.
Robert Pattinson.
I thought he lived. What?
Well, so he lived in the timeline that they were on, but what happens is when they go down into that little like underground part, and a guy jumps in front of the guy's dead. Him. He's dead on the ground.
That's his past self. Or the future self.
Yeah.
That's coming back.
Future and past, because I don't know which way they were going at that point, but they get out and he's dead. He goes reverse at the very end and saves him because after they get out, he saves him out. And then he has to go back again to save and take the bullet for him again because his future self was the one that sacrificed himself. So he has to go back again to save him in the past. And so basically he knows that he's going to die, but he goes to do it anyway because what's happened's already happened. So stuff like that I don't know. I just really enjoy that kind of stuff. And yeah, makes you think.
So, as I was watching the movie, I didn't understand shit. I couldn't hear any of the dialogue. I wanted to turn over to you guys and be like, do you guys hear anything they're saying right now?
And you did. You turned to me.
Yeah.
I was about to talk to all of you guys and be like, I don't know. I don't know what's happening. It's been 45 minutes since I took something into consideration.
I turned to you and I was like, do you understand anything that's happening right now? He goes, I didn't understand anything in the past hour.
Yeah.
I was like,
I did not understand the dynamics between half the characters until the end of the movie.
That's what I was going to talk about. Yes, it's not driven by characters, but there was nobody you could lock onto and actually
the characters
feel for.
No, Nolan cannot make good characters. His characters are terrible.
I think in Inception.
Inception's the same problem. I think.
Isn't DiCaprio the main character?
Yeah. I think that's DiCaprio.
The only thing that they had emotionally for DiCaprio was his wife, who she was just
and his kids.
fucking cardboard box.
That's like
what?
complex, more complex than any of the characters.
Yeah,
I think
that's
all
true.
of these characters in this film are surface level and very stereotypical hero protagonist's wife who is good but is being
antagonist
antagonist wife who is being like slaved into a certain way, and then we have protagonist's friend who's badass and dope but he's got a secret. And then we've got
woman has child, feel bad for her.
Yeah, and then we've got Indian lady who's selling bombs.
Yeah, she's selling metal.
Metal,
Weird
which is
metal.
bombs.
And how sick was it that the protagonist called himself the protagonist?
Okay, I hated that song.
Yeah.
I didn't like
so
that part
stupid.
of it.
Yeah,
I'm the
he was-
protagonist.
That's
He's
like,
the main
it's supposed to be like
he kept saying,
like,
"I'm the protagonist."
it's supposed to be like some sort of like meta, like I don't even know what he was trying to do, naming him the protagonist. It's
No,
stupid.
it just like was. It felt arrogant.
It
Yeah, I
felt
didn't
kind of
like
like
that
it was
part.
talking down.
Well, they were trying to reveal the name of the guy that kind of did all this, like who was at the center of all this, and they called it the protagonist. Couldn't they have called it something cooler, like
Tenet.
Yeah.
race car?
The Tenet.
race car.
Okay, was
the palindrome.
was Tenet the group that he ended up making?
Yes.
The army group.
Mm-hmm.
So he
You
should
get
have
it
been
'cause
called the
it's a
Tenet.
palindrome.
He
Yeah.
should have been called the
I
Tenet.
think he
Stalker.
should have been called the Tenet. I think that was a missed
I-
opportunity.
Anyways, it was hard for me to watch this. Who's the? Somebody give me the actor's name.
Which
Somebody
one?
look him up.
Which
I
one?
don't remember.
The
his
main
name.
character.
It's John David Washington.
Yeah. Okay. John David Washington. It's hard to watch him in this role in this film after you've watched The Black Klansman, because goddamn,
I
is that a
forgot he was
good
in that.
movie?
Yeah, he was very
God
miscast. in this
Damn,
movie.
did he do a good job? And goddamn, was that character written like perfectly for him? This did not feel like it was written for him.
No.
This
Yeah.
felt like it was written for Daniel.
He was too dry for it.
You know,
I
you know,
think they did need somebody else.
You know, it's just Spike Lee is just better writer.
Yeah.
Christopher Nolan isn't. It's his concepts that get him
Yeah.
his pop.
I remember, Joe, you were like, his idea was, I'm going to make a fight scene go forward and backwards at the same time.
That's it. That's his pitch.
That was his pitch. And
That's a pretty sweet pitch.
it is, but it has
Okay,
to
I
be
did
done.
also really like the battle scene at the end there, where it's going forwards and backwards.
See
You know,
that
there's-
that's
Triple
like-
reverse
I felt like
RPG into building big crash sand explosion.
No, that scene to me was just kind of. It was just like
felt
it's
overdone.
a battle scene. It's like
Yeah.
a typical war, like big fight scene at the end. But we're
In
gonna
the desert
put, we're
with
gonna
big
put,
explosion sand flying
we're
in the
gonna
air.
put, we're gonna put a couple things in reverse. That's
It
all
was
felt
boring.
like
It was
to me.
boring
I thought
to
it was
me.
really boring.
Yeah.
But I think it was shot where VGHS's action scenes were
Yeah.
shot, and that makes me happy if that's
Yeah.
true.
I don't think it was boring. I actually enjoyed the
I-
visuals in that one.
I
Yeah.
enjoyed the only.
I also liked when somebody would see something happening, but then they were going the other way in time, so they can, like when the friend tries to honk at them going into the thing, he's like honking at them to try and stop them from tripping the tripwire.
See, those are the types of things that my brain would never catch on to. Just because
Yeah, I
it
don't
goes
know.
so fast, and I'm still trying to figure out what the character said in the first act of the movie.
You're
I
just
just
not
like
smart enough for
tripwire.
Christopher
They go
Nolan.
I guess I'm
in.
not.
Some car is honking at them. Then right after that, he's going in the other way in time. Sees the guy.
Well, no, I get it
laying
now.
the
I get it
tripwire.
now.
It just sucks
It's just-
because this movie also because it is so fast and so long, there is an abundance of dialogue in this movie, and when you can't hear that dialogue,
Yeah.
it sucks.
And
shit.
there are so many rules because it's such a
Yeah.
complex. It's a really cool concept.
Yeah.
It is.
And because it's so complex, they have to drive all that in there, and that's why there's just too many rules to follow, too many
And
things.
I think they should have shown it more visually. I think what should have happened, when he, the first time he figures out about,
Like
not the first
with
time he
bullet.
sees it, but the first time that person tells him about the bullet.
Mhm.
I think when that happened, which I couldn't even hear that dialogue, the conversation between them two. I think when that happened, that's when the machine that you go into should have been introduced. Because
except nobody had control of those machines was the problem. The only people that had control was the
people in the future.
Them and the Russian guy, since they
the
had given it
Tenet
to him.
people.
No, they did, but mainly the Russian guy was the main one who had those.
Yeah, because I remember she mentioned how like she didn't know like the bullets came from the future and they didn't know how to like.
Yeah. Also, the machines that they did go through to reverse in time felt like nothing. Like, because you watch like any time travel movie, and this is stereotypical, but it works because it gives us a visual representation of things changing physically and in the world. Back to the Future, Star Wars, Back to the Future, when he goes back in time, there's a big like visual insanity that occurs. The car goes on, the car shoots flames out of it. It goes really fast, like yes, visual to mental like connection. And then Star Wars, hyperdrive. They go through like time and space.
Go fast.
Go fast.
You see the bright lights all like swoop, and then you see the ship going small.
And then in Tenet, they just kind of show up.
I think that the fact that if it was done over the top like that, it almost wouldn't be as like, because it's not a stereotypical way of time travel, so you can't make it the stereotypical lights flash big.
I agree.
They did have a difference. The two rooms where they come out of were different colors.
But
then they would have scenes where they mix the colors on the character and lit them with blue and red, and I'm like, what am I looking at?
And also they had those the ones where they would like go up.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So I agree with you. It shouldn't have been as like flashy, but it still should have been. Even an audio cue. There was no audio cue even. It was just like that's it. Like there was no even if there was like an audio cue, the colors I guess were very minor, and like that is a step towards like being good. But
I think the main thing with this one was when he stays behind, while they're doing the car chase scene, he's staying behind and making it like it seems like he's just staying there and telling them to tell him what happens, and then after you only find out that he's actually gone through the machine after the whole interview and stuff happens. That's when he's going in reverse now. But to you, you're not like, I don't know. It's almost like more of a like reveal after he like shoots the girl and stuff, and then it all happens again, but in reverse this time. And then he's going out to proceed to chase down the car.
I was so lost at that. That was the most lost I was.
Did any of you besides Tyler understand that scene where he shoots his wife?
What about it? Like to understand?
Just like literally the time aspect.
I got the basics of the fact that after he went through and it's revealed to you that already happened. I got that, and that's it. I had no clue what was happening while they were in there looking at the other side. I was like, what is he saying? Is he speaking over an intercom right now? What's happening? I had no clue.
Did you understand that scene?
Yeah, because he was so what happened was they bring him in. He has already gone through the machine.
The
Russian guy.
Okay.
And so he's in that other room, which as he's talking to him, he's talking in reverse because he's already going backwards in time. And so he's talking to him in reverse, which is replaying it forwards to him in the other room, so he can understand it. Because if he was saying it backwards,
they're replaying it forwards.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And so.
So it was coming over the intercom.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Because he was speaking in reverse, so then it had to play through forwards.
Even then, you were trying to listen to it while he was mouthing it, and that was so confusing.
So keep going.
Sorry.
And so as after he does all this, he's doing this in reverse. So then, as he is going and like shoots her, sits her back down after that, and then goes back through the machine. You see him come out and like forwards, and he's basically telling him to like give up the information. He's already given him the information, so then he has to go back through the machine, come back through, redo everything that just happened, and then go out into the like car and go chase down because he's told him where the machine or the last piece of the algorithm was, and so he has to go back out And then that whole car chase that happened before is happening again because now he knows the information.
Okay. The other thing that feels this whole movie is unrealistic, obviously, but what feels like it's trying to be you can agree that the movie's trying to be realistic in an unrealistic platform, right?
Yeah.
Like it's trying to be as real as possible to to show this whole concept. Otherwise the concept would just be dumb. Does it make sense to you guys, like, you have to drop the bullet to pick it up in time, you know?
That was so
and you have to
easy.
like, so if you were going back in time, you would have to like go back to get the bullet, or you would have to like, you know, like go back to get the bullet, or you would have to like put your foot like off and then on the gas pedal or something like that. And then like I saw when he first went back and when he first went reverse, like they tried to show it like when he was closing the car door that he like closes it and stops before like right before closing it, because like when you get out of a car normally you open it a little bit and then you open it.
Yeah.
So that's like what they were trying to do there. Like I just felt like that was weird.
Yeah, and it's meant to be weird because the whole universe that he's in is going forwards while he's going the other way.
Yeah.
And that's the same reason why he has to, wear the mask, because you can't breathe in oxygen that's going one way when your lungs are going to be technically
also
exhaling it.
Yeah, the other thing is that there are in the ending act of the scene, I couldn't tell when they were forwards or backwards in time. And
I think that was part of what it was supposed to be. Because
like, and then sometimes they are wearing their masks, but they're just not even like without any cuts or without any like location or time changes, and it's just like, what is going on? I don't know. It was weird.
The problem I have with the movie is I feel like to get invested in a movie, I have to have characters that I like. And when there's no, like, literally this movie, the characters, this is one of the most forgettable movies I've really watched. Like, it has such a, like, interesting concept in a way, even though I feel like even if it was done well, it would be just good, in my eyes at least.
But having not grasped onto it fully, you can't, like...
Yeah, and just the characters, like, I just could care less what
and
happens.
And it's stereotypical stakes. And the guy wants to end the world.
Yeah, that's another thing I totally forgot about this point. Like, Inception I liked a lot more. Because it felt more grounded in the way that their goal was just like a job for a company, and they're just getting this one guy. But this is like, the world is on the line, the world's gonna end, and it's just like fake tension, fake stakes. I hate it.
And then the wife goes, they're explaining to the wife that like everybody's gonna die, and she goes, that means my son's gonna die. It's like, yeah.
Emotional depth. She has sons.
Yeah, it's like, yes, obviously
son.
Your son will die. Like.
No, yeah, I agree. I think some of the plot points were like that could have been done better, and also the I think it was something more along the lines of like if somebody was trying to go back and do this to a certain person, but like and that would change the course of history if that certain thing happened. So I don't know. It would have to like I think that end of the world type thing was kind of a dumb thing to do. And also the characters weren't the best. I feel like if it was, if they changed that conflict and had better actors that would actually make you care about the characters, then I would have probably given this movie like a 5 out of 5.
Yeah,
but it didn't have that, so.
I had something else about. Why can't I remember now? Something about the characters, Ethan.
It's okay, Joe. We've already covered that the characters were dry.
What, Andre?
Huh?
Isn't his name Andre? Am I wrong?
No, it was something else. The Russian,
He's literally on Letterboxd. It says the protagonist.
No. Yeah, it is Andre. But they call him his last name a lot. They call him Seder.
I remember.
Oh, you're talking about that guy.
She calls him Andre.
My bad.
Dude, yeah, but just this.
Oh, the other thing I felt was really stupid was how much they acted like cyanide was such a big such a big new thing, but like cyanide was created back in what?
Oh, are you talking about the suicide pills?
Yeah, it was like cyanide was created back in World War One, maybe. I'm probably wrong, but it was definitely made in the 1900s, maybe 1800s, honestly. And like they were making it out to be like such a big new deal, and it's like, no, that's been around for a long. And like the fact that soldiers, you're not like they literally upgraded or promoted the protagonist because he took a cyanide pill.
Yeah,
and it's like,
which wasn't actually a cyanide pill.
He passed the test.
Yeah.
But like,
you passed the test.
but like, I feel like a lot of soldiers did that. Even American soldiers probably, like Black Ops soldiers probably did that. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think the biggest thing was he was a CIA agent that was covering up this material that ended up being like the time travel stuff, which I think that was the biggest part of that.
I just think that Nolan movies are literally just concept.
Yeah.
Like that's the whole where the substance of his movie comes from.
That's why I do like his Batman movies, because he's not forcing a concept.
Yeah. Dark Knight. I've only seen Dark Knight, and I really liked it.
Yeah.
I remember that was one of the few superhero movies.
But he was probably driven with that movie by a lot of other people.
Yeah, you would assume. It's really interesting because those movies don't really feel like Nolan movies.
No.
It doesn't feel like something he would like want to do. It seems like he likes to.
Because there aren't any crazy concepts in those movies.
Yeah, they're just good superhero movies.
But he really couldn't probably do crazy concepts.
I mean, he probably just
Batman
liked
time travels.
He probably just liked Batman and was like, "I'll make Batman movies."
Yeah, you're probably.
I like Batman. I make Batman.
Ton of Mooney. Ton of Mooney coming Chris Nolan's way.
You're probably right.
Yeah.
But I do want to watch Inception again, because I watched it a long time ago as a kid and I barely understood it.
Yeah, we just recently.
I know you guys.
Yeah, after watching it, I was actually excited for Tenet, and I saw that it had like solid reviews or like decent reviews, and I was like, oh, this might be good. But it just felt like it was just like that's the one thing that bothers me about this movie is that I mentioned this earlier, but it's just trying to be so smart and so advanced that it just like
falls short.
Complexity doesn't mean efficiency.
Complexity doesn't
mean
equal
quality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Same thing.
It's all surface level. It's all just saying a bunch of complex things when really it's just you don't need it.
Yeah.
It's just trying to make the movie sound smart.
Complexity doesn't always mean smart. That's how you have to put it.
Yeah, I don't think this movie is really smart at all.
No.
Yeah.
In
Exactly.
any of the things that it does.
No.
It's a pretty dumb look at Big Boom, but in reverse movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm a person that likes complexity, even if it's not like the best, best way it could have been done. I just like things where you have to figure them out because it is
Puzzles.
It's kind of
puzzles.
we're like opposites in that. I'm a
Yeah.
big fan of simplicity. I love just
I disagree.
with what
Stalker's not simple.
surface level simple.
Yeah, it is very.
Surface level simple. That's a pretty surface
That is
level
a simple
movie.
concept.
You're right.
But it goes
intense
deeper because
Yeah.
I think that you can get more meaning out of simplicity. I think that something that's complex like this looks from the outside that it has like all this depth to it, but really it's super shallow.
Mm-hmm.
But then you have something like Stalker, which on the surface is just guys going into the zone, getting to this room, but there's so much underlying themes of religion, and all this faith, all of this.
It is really interesting though, because I can't think of like a recent or even the last movie I saw where like it is complex, but it is just like a simple surface. It's surface level. It is simple. Like, can you guys think of any movies like that?
What do you mean?
Where like what you just explained, like a movie that is complex, but really it's just surface level, like plot, character, or not even like
something
plot
like that's
characters
like
or
Tenet
like
is what you're
motives.
saying,
Yeah,
but just
yeah.
What about like Whiplash?
No.
Is there emotion?
Whiplash is a
There's
pretty
a lot of
simple
emotion.
movie though. That's like kind of a I don't know. See, that's the tough thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I just feel like
what I'm
that's highly
describing is really
emotional
just
and
like
intense.
a Chris
with this-
Nolan problem.
But there's no complexity to it. Like, you don't have to think hard to watch that.
No,
movie.
I know. You were saying it's complex on a deeper level, though, in simple surface value. That's what you were asking about, right?
No, I'm saying.
Are you asking
saying
about a complex movie that's also more complex, like, as you go deeper? Is that what you're asking?
What did you just say, Joe, about the movie? What is it?
About this movie, about Tenet?
Yes.
I was saying that it's just all like surface level complexity. Like it's just saying it's super
I said it
complex,
wrong then. Yeah.
but there's not really like it's kind of just all.
I think what the difference is you're talking about complexity in meaning and not complexity in the the concept of the movie itself.
Yeah, but I just think that
this movie you can tell it was not made to be a super meaningful.
Yeah.
Complex meaning movie.
So Ethan, what were you asking?
So then I'm saying complexity of
Meaning.
No. I'm saying what was the last movie you saw like this where it is surface level meaning but complex on the like things that it introduces.
So something like this movie. I don't know.
Yeah. Like what is the last? Like I
the
said,
thing is with me, I can't really. I don't think I can really name any because I tend to like avoid movies like this.
I think an example
I never really feel like watching them.
That's similar would be like it's not to the same level, but like Lost is like a super simple concept. People crash, land on an island. But then there's the complex ideas and stuff that's introduced throughout the show.
Well, no, but that
makes it way more.
Yeah.
I don't know.
The idea is super simple. It's characters stuck on an island, surviving. Things happen.
But all the rules and stuff make it complex. But they have more meaning.
But as it goes on, like stuff like time travel or secret, people gets introduced and.
Molly's game is complex.
But simple on the surface level because she just has daddy issues.
yeah, pretty much. That's honestly the whole thing.
Yeah.
It's that movie's kind of sad.
I'm a woman and I have daddy issues, but here's a super complex plot.
Look, I'm gonna run an underground gambling operation.
Yeah.
Where Michael Cera is in it.
He is?
Cera, yeah. Michael, you didn't remember Michael Cera's in that movie?
I told you I skipped through the movie.
Dude, you missed Michael Cera.
Well, you watched it?
He was like a big part of it.
I skimmed through the movie because I just wanted to watch the poker scenes. And then I watched like the ending.
The poker scenes were kind of fun. No, they weren't. They
weren't.
There was one where they did like a cool
literally James
game.
Bond did a better poker scene than that.
Oh yeah, they did.
But
it was more about like
let's make
the
a poker
operations
movie,
behind
guys.
the poker.
We should make a poker movie.
Let's do it. Let's make a gambling movie.
That's
a great idea.
It's happening.
A stealing and gambling film.
Stealing and gambling.
That's a good idea now.
That's never
You're
been
just
done.
talking about yourself.
Movie where each of you cheats in a different way.
Ethan cheats by converting everyone to Judaism.
Yeah.
And we all reflect
cheater.
on the morality of gambling.
Yeah.
Rate
it.
I guess I go first.
We'll start over there.
So I'm kind of rethinking this, but I'm just gonna do what I did on Letterboxd. I gave it a 2.5 or a 5 out of 10. I think that's kind of generous now that I talk about it more. Generous. But in the moment, I thought some of the action scenes were cool. I liked the one where he was fighting in reverse versus himself going forward. I thought that was just it was shot, like, it just looked cool. But, like, really, the cinematography in this just looks like every action movie. The lighting is just, like, it's just whatever.
You have to give him props for actually crashing a plane into a building, though.
You do.
That was pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Now, what was the budget of this movie? But look that up while we're rating. I 5 out
I
of 10.
want you to go because
Wait, no. We gotta go in order.
Yeah.
All right.
Mine's a generous 2.5.
Because I think I'm gonna be one of the extremes.
That's fair.
I'm thinking between like a 1.5 and a 1, and I think I have to go with a 1.
Okay.
Because the only thing that stands out to me in this movie is the cinematography, and even then, like,
really, I thought the cinematography was bland.
Yeah, exactly. But like I'm saying, like the big things that they were able to pull off, like crashing a plane to a building, the fight scene, any of the fight scenes, honestly, like going in, having something go forward in time and reverse in time at the same time is probably pretty hard to shoot, and I don't think any of us could do that on. Like, we would have to learn a lot to do that. Yeah. So that's what I give my point to. Otherwise,
can I say something though? Like, compared to Inception had some pretty cool moments, like the hallway scene, the cinematography there, and like
the building scene.
You know, the infinite staircase part, like that camera reveal when it pans down and they're up on the ledge. Like there's just so many iconic shots from that movie.
Yeah, like
just, this movie, I don't remember any shots from it. Nothing stands out at all.
I remember sand explosions in the desert. Okay,
reverse.
The budget of this film was $205 million.
That's a lot of money.
Which is a lot. It's $45 million more than Inception was.
They just throw money at Nolan.
$40 million more than Interstellar. $55 million more than Batman.
Sheesh.
Yeah, it was
a lot of money.
Lots of money.
What's your rating?
I'm gonna give it a 2. I'm gonna give it a 2, and
2 out of 5, right?
Yeah, 2. Okay. Yeah, 2 out of 5. I didn't enjoy it for a single moment, other than big explosion in the desert, go boom, and then. But I'm gonna give him a 2. As far as my enjoyment is concerned, less than a 1. But I'm gonna give him a 2 just for the fact that they pulled off a pretty complex visual achievement. Like that has to be incredibly hard to film so much in reverse while having stuff go forward, and the production value was there. It was just like any other big boom movie,
Hollywood
production,
Hollywood action movie.
But I think they did a good job of connecting the story and making it look good. I just think everything else was bad and I didn't like it.
Everything else bad, I don't like.
Okay.
Here we go. The king of the table.
The other extreme.
I would have given this movie a 3.5 if it wasn't for the stuff that you guys mentioned. My official rating is gonna be a 3 out of 5. Because
that's actually lower than
I thought you were gonna give it a 4.
I thought you were gonna give it a 7 or an 8.
No. This a movie like this, exactly what you said, shooting so much in reverse and so much forward is just that's one of I can't even imagine trying to do that, especially on the scale that they did it.
Mm-hmm.
And I once again I just like complex ideas and stuff that makes me say oh well, what if I like finding paradoxes in things, and so if I can point out something that wouldn't make sense, then that would have made it less. But I don't know. I thought it was done really well to where everything that they did fit in with what the story was telling. You know, there wasn't any problems with the overall story. There were character problems though. That's one of the reasons I didn't rate it higher. But other than that, I thought it was a good movie.
It took Christopher Nolan 5 years to plan.
Yeah, that's a lot of years.
Yeah.
Is that actually real?
Yeah.
That was a trivia thing?
Yeah.
Yes, I mean, at least his movies are very unique. He finds these unique concepts, and they're unique in ways, I should say.
Unique in their own beautiful
There's always
way.
woman with child. Feel bad for woman with child.
Yeah.
I love it.
That was actually another one of the reviews on Letterboxd.
Yeah, that was the only one that I really read. I thought it was so funny.
Yeah. How to make a Christopher Nolan movie.
What are we watching?
Woman, child.
Ethan, do you want to go first, or do you want me to
I'll go first.
Okay.
I looked at movies, and I am gonna go with what I said earlier. We are watching The Godfather. None of you guys have seen it, which I'm very, very sad about.
Yeah. You've seen it?
But happy about, because
of course.
Because I watch good movies.
Yeah, that's fair. I don't.
I'm really interested to see. You're gonna like it.
I know.
You're gonna like it. You guys will like it.
It's it's The Godfather.
Yeah.
How could you watch The Godfather?
That's one of the
and rate it
highest critically acclaimed movies ever.
So, what I am, first of all, I haven't watched it in a long time. I really want to rewatch it and see if the scenes that hit me when I watched it hit me as hard as they did now, because they legitimately changed the way I perceive film and see film. And so I want to see if they hit me still as hard, and how hard they hit you guys. there's just one scene in particular. I'm not gonna say anything, but after it happens, I'll point it out. And it's just a fucking, it's so fucking good. It's long, but damn.
I'm ready.
How long is it? Does it hit the 3 hour mark?
I think it's pretty fucking close to 3 hours.
It's been on my watch list since I got Letterboxd.
We're liking a lot of long movies recently.
Cough, stop.
And we can't watch this when I'm tired.
No.
Because I will fall asleep.
We are drinking G Fuel right before this movie gets on.
Like, I can't fall asleep.
We're watching this this is a nice 5 p.m. movie.
I want to watch a date. Yeah, we need to watch in the day.
Alright.
But yeah, that's a big movie that we are all going to enjoy. I'm calling it now.
Oh, well,
Let's
of
get
course.
it.
There's nothing like a good mobster movie.
Yeah.
There's nothing like it.
Another-
It's one of the best genres.
Another
Yeah.
best picture.
All right, well.
What?
Another best picture.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. But,
Let's do it.
okay. For me, we're going back into the animated realm for the first time since
Oh.
the first movie podcast. We're watching an anime, boys.
Oh.
We're watching Princess Mononoke, the Studio Ghibli movie.
Okay.
And we're going to have to make a big decision here. Are we going to watch sub or dub?
I think we have to watch. Which one's which again? Dub is English.
Dub.
Yes.
We watched the
Subtitles
dub.
We're gonna
or
watch-
subtitles?
We'll watch the dub.
No,
I
Studio
I think
Ghibli
we
movie.
watched the
No,
sub.
I want to watch the
No.
subs.
I think
I
we watched
just
the
watched
sub.
another. I watched Spirited Away a couple days ago.
Gives you more.
With the dub, and it was a good dub, but I kind of want to watch sub. The thing is, I actually don't mind watching the dub if you guys want to. I'll just watch it again with the subs.
I vote dub, but that's just me.
So, with Studio Ghibli, they do a really good job with getting good dub actors. Like, Spirited Away is a really good one, and then Princess Mononoke is a good one. Both are good options. I'd go with the sub because it kind of adds a different level to it because
You can hear.
it's just how... Because with Japanese, that's how they talk, how they act, so it adds a bit more to it.
Yeah, like when I watched Spirited Away, the dub, it was like it was good, but it just felt off.
Yeah.
a
It's
little
like
bit.
in
It just
Naruto.
feels off.
Yeah, it's like in Naruto when he's
Okay.
like something like he's talking and then he repeats it. It's like, eh.
Yeah,
Sub it is.
but I think I'm gonna love this movie. I really like Spirited Away. That was a banger, 5 out of 5.
What's
that
it
was
with?
my favorite animated movie I've seen. Besides, if you count stop motion, Fantastic Mr. Fox is up there, but I'm ready.
Princess Mononoke?
Mononoke.
Mononoke. Okay.
Yeah.
Alright.
Cool. Let's get it.
Yes, sir. We'll see you guys in 2 weeks. Watch the movies, or we will take away the Simps code on G Fuel.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening. We love you. Bye.